Hello and welcome back to Astromantics. I am your host, Lacey Wester, and Mary's not here today. She is busy printing out a bunch of stuff. We have an event coming up, and it's an event that I hope to do actually in the future. I'm beta testing it. And it's an event where I have a select group of people, about 8 people, so small, intimate, private. And then I look at each of their charts and then we play with the charts. So we talk about how each person might like to be touched, taken out on a date, how they like to be connected with based on their astrology. And then we have sort of cross-pollination, if you will. I have little, so in astrology, there's 4 elements, right? Earth, air, fire, water, right? Earth and water go really well together. Fire and air go really well together. Everyone has everything in their chart, right? Because it's a wheel. We all have everything. It's just we have personal planets in the wheel, which make us more air, more fire, more water, more earth. And wouldn't you like to know if your person has a lot of water, how it differs from maybe you're having a lot of air and how you can connect better? Or if there's people in your family who you love and are connected to, how can you connect to them even better? Have even more compassion for them based on, right? What their astrology is. How do they prefer to have their information, right? Don't you want to be understood? Don't you like to understand other people? Astrology can help with that. So I'm making an event with people with their charts to know themselves, know others, and know with just looking at someone's chart how that person maybe operates. I'm just trying to connect the world together. So another way that astrologers look at charts is we look at synastry charts. What is a synastry chart, Lacey? Well, if you're here, you probably already know what that even is, but synastry charts takes one person's wheel and another person's wheel. And first you look at the 2 people, right? Because first, I'm gonna move my little plant over. She's cute, but first we look at the 2 charts to see what the 2 people are like. And then you put the charts together to see how they affect one another. And we'll get into that as we go. I chose 2 charts that we have for sure data on. I chose, let me share my screen. Oh, I'm on YouTube doing this, but if you want to watch me on YouTube, you can see my face talk about it, or it's always on the Astromatics podcast. Please listen. All right, so right now I'm showing an image of stupid, gorgeous Jennifer Lopez. Hi, stupid, gorgeous. She's not stupid. She's very smart. She's very smart, actually. She's Venus and Gemini. That's a very smart lady. But yeah, she's stupid gorgeous, right? She's just beautiful, just glorious. She gives, women a great, great face. You're just like, hells yeah. So we're doing her synastry chart, and oh my God, can you guess who else's chart? Oh, Ben Affleck. That's who else's. Another stupid, beautiful human being, right? Another person who's like dumb hot. He's not dumb. He does have a very slow way about him, though, a very sensual way about him. We'll look at his chart and we'll talk about maybe when he could come across as kind of slow, but really he's very smart. All right. So let's look at Jennifer Lopez's chart. Boom. This is a pretty accurate time for a pretty accurate reading. We do celebrity readings because then, you can like follow their story. There's news reports on them, and then you can kind of check your astrology against what the reality is, right? What's being up there, what's being presented, which I love. Give me a test all day. All right, so first we have Jennifer Lopez here. Hello, Miss J-Lo. All right, first thing I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at her big 3. Hi, I'm a Leo sun. She said a birthday, eh? Yeah, July 24th. Leo sun, Leo Mercury, and it's in the 11th house. This means she will be seen in some way or have a strong desire to be seen. The worst thing you can do to a Leo is ignore them. They hate that. So don't ignore this person. Leo is a stage. It's a part of ourselves where we don't really want to work for something. There isn't necessarily hard work involved. It's kind of more of a natural flow. The sun, she shines. That's what she gonna do. So in the 11th house, all J-Lo's got to do is be herself, true to herself, and she will shine. Um, so that's what we have right here, right? So she presents as a Leo. The sun is in its domicile here. That means it has an easy time sort of being in the spotlight. We have a Mercury here, which means that she thinks and she processes in the spotlight. She is thinking of her brand, right? She is thinking of how she communicates herself, right? How she is seen for sure, right? In the 11th house of the world, we're looking at a person who desires to be on stage in the world, right? Or wants to be seen in the community, right? Let's say this person wasn't on stage, not everyone in the world did see them. This person would still kind of crave it, kind of want it. We have a moon here in Scorpio, and it's at an anorenic degree. Anorenic. Mary knows this one like way more than I do. That's a pretty special degree. That means that this person is going to do something very special in her lifetime. In the sign of Scorpio, she's going to do something that is sort of sexy, right? Because Scorpio rules the genitals. It has to do with the deep, the macabre. It has to do with the taboo, right? She has Neptune 25 degrees retrograde, but still Neptune right next to that moon, that makes her automatically magnetic. And then Mars here, this means her automatically sexually magnetic to other people, right? So she will be seen as a magnetic, very sexy, festivally, right? So Mars in Sagittarius loves to teach. So she might teach with her body in some way or use her mind grapes because it's in the third house of the mindset. So that means that her mindset is in, well, she dances, right? We know she dances, moves like a Libra. Libra's into beauty, ballet, right? I move gracefully in some way. Anyway, I know that she was a fly girl way back in the 90s, right? Like that was an amazing dancer. I remember seeing it in living color, right? I don't know if you're old enough to see that, but I did. So we have a person and Mercury. So Mercury rules the third house, and her Mercury is on a stage. So she's going to use her body, her vitality, her movement. So a Mars in Sagittarius sometimes, so Sagittarius is good at impersonation, right? It's good at memorizing how other people move. So she is going to move, the way that she's going to move is going to be in a warrior-like dance way, which we know that she does. And then her mind is going to be on a stage, right? So those two things are combined. Anyway, but what I want to say about this moon is that sometimes people with a moon in Scorpio, especially growing up, I don't know if her mother passed away when she was younger and like that. Sometimes it can mean that, especially in that second house there. Or maybe it was later in life. But anyway, a moon in Scorpio, usually this person means that they had an intense mom in some way. I actually don't know anything about J-Lo. I feel like I should, but I'm shit at following celebrities. Like I literally don't care. I'm into astrology and I'm into people that we have accurate charts for and people who are in the spotlight so we can look at it, right? So that's actually why I'm doing this. But J-Lo, she gives me hope, right? I mean, my God, 69, shut the fuck up, lady. You were born in 1969. Ah, goals. All right. So, but this means that her emotions and her inner world are really kind of difficult to get to because she wants to hide it. This person may not love being hugged immediately, right? Like they may not be a hugger on the offset, right? Moon in Scorpio, yeah, usually means that you had an intense mom or maybe a mom that passed away. Could also mean that you had maybe a controlling mom or a mom who had some form of control in some way. A Neptune there, oh yeah. So she might have had a controlling mom who she didn't know how to say no to. Right? Like when those lines are blurred, it's like you blur the lines between yourself and your mom. And people who have this, they feel sometimes like they don't know how to please their mom. Anyway. And she has it as a resource. So something about her values. There is a value for mom here, though, right? There is some kind of a value here, right? There's so that's interesting. Anyway, so moon doesn't share emotions or inner feelings easily. This is a tough nut to crack. We do not share our inner world or our feelings about things. It's one thing to be transparent, right? To be like, yeah, this is what's going on. It's another thing to cry in front of people. Scorpio moons do not want to cry in front of anyone. So is not a crier about things they feel personal about, for sure. Yeah, Mars, this person maybe, and then in the third house of travel, I wonder if she likes to argue while she's traveling because Mars is kind of, it's fucking or it's fighting, right? So or dancing in her case, right? Dancing aggressively, right? Mimicking other people aggressively. I wonder if she has a hard time mimicking other people. I don't know. See, look at this. We got to try and Mars to body. I've seen this in another chart. So Mars to body, as quickly as she thinks that she can copy it, right? Like as quick as I think it is, in a physical way. That's kind of fun to see. All right, Mars here likes lighthearted things. Mars in Sagittarius. Sagittarius likes to do loves philosophical things, right? Or maybe Mars in Sagittarius, philosophical things might be a little bit more of a challenge in some way. It makes her feel alive, but then Mars makes an anti whatever sign it's in. So she may not love traveling everywhere in the world. I mean, ninth house Venus in Gemini. Venus, like in the ninth house, that's a Sagittarius layer on it. She definitely would love to read books for sure. She might have experienced some kind of misunderstandings in her life around her love communication. She probably feels misunderstood a little. There's a philosophical vibe to her Venus. So what she finds attractive and what she's attracted to has a Venus and Gemini vibe. She might be like, yes, I'm attracted to this and this. There's a duality to Gemini. I'm attracted to both things, right? A Libra here means she finds beauty in lots of things, but this is mostly like a part of her ego. So a lot of beauty, cares a lot about beauty, and then wants something unconventional or shocking in some way about her beauty, for sure, right? And she likes unconventional, shocking beauty in some way, right? She'll also have a bit of a nerdy philosophical view about attraction, what she's attracted to, whom she's attracted to. She's definitely attracted to lyrics, right? So Gemini is communication. It's another Mercury ruled sign. She's kind of Mercury ruled here a little bit, isn't she? I mean, she's Venus ruled, but because Venus rules her chart because it rules Libra, but she's a thinker, this one. She is a philosophical thinker, this one. But Mars here, maybe she doesn't like to travel short distances, right? She maybe prefers to travel cross country or something like that in some way. Anyway, all right. So important houses. What you need to know to stroke her ego. She likes shocking. She likes authentic. So she will appreciate anybody who's being authentically beautiful in some way, right? She's going to see the beauty in herself, right? Hopefully she'll see the beauty in herself. But yeah, the world sees her body, her ego as beautiful in some way, right? But she loves authenticity. This means she also loves being authentic to herself, right? When I think of some lyrics of her songs, there is that there. And Jupiter is beliefs, right? So she's got to be true to her beliefs about herself too, right? Jupiter there has to be true to herself, authentic to herself, which I kind of love. And then pushy. So she's definitely, other people will probably consider her extra pushy. And the reason for that is Libras need to find balance. So they push hard and they want you to push hard back so that they can find that balance, right? So she pushy, isn't she, Ben Affleck? She must be pushy. Anyway, that's what I think of when I see that. She values Scorpio vibes. So she values the deep, the taboo. She values you bleeding for her in some way. She probably likes skull cups, right? She probably likes some more of like the darker things, right? When I see her dressed up, right, even in some of her images here, we've got dark. She's wearing dark. Black is very highly associated with Scorpio, right? And very highly sexual, right? Scorpio is a highly sexual sign, and it's not that they want to just fuck everyone. It's more like they want to fuck you deeply and they want to be made love to deeply, right? And they want loyalty, very much so. And the other thing that they want is they want it's a part of the way that they know the face of God. I heard a Vedic astrologer say that once about Scorpio, that the reason why they like to be the reason why they are sexual and how they know they want to be with somebody or not is via sexual contact, is they want to know the deepest parts of you. Think of deep penetration. They want to experience the God in you, if you will, right? That's what they want. See, and here again, we've got some, this is kind of I have a picture of J-Lo that I'm looking at, and she has like a dark hat on, and she's got some like, what are those, like horns? Looks like elephant horns as earrings, right? Of course, her very famous outfit. That was that green outfit that was like super see-through back in the day, right? She's a little bit bold, right? She's wearing so much black. Look, she's got a lot of black around the eyes, right? That's very Scorpio moon. That is some intense eye contact you got going on there, sugar, right? So yeah, dark eyes, right? Scorpio value. So she would like value the dark look of Libra, right? Libra is beautiful. So I'm going to look dark, but then also I want to be pretty doing it, right? Let's see what else we got going on. So fifth house, another house we look at, that is the sign of Aquarius. Looky here. Miss Thang up over here. She like unconventional people. Again, we see authenticity here. She wants someone who is authentic. She also wants friendship first. If she can't flirt with you like a friend, she's not into you, right? Like, also she needs distance. She needs to detach quite a bit, right? This one is not she will be a communicator for sure. She'll communicate her attraction, right? It's a part of her. But Aquarius is, oh, did you want me to do that? No, moon do the opposite. People who have Venus in Aquarius, or people who have Aquarius fifth house, tend to be like, Aquarius is where we're kind of anti or rebel sometimes, right? If we're told to do something, we're like, I'll do that if it's authentic, if what you're asking for, according to my perspective, right? Because Aquarius is the sign of perspective. It's an eagle flying over the world, right? And when you have that kind of perspective, when somebody says, I need you have to do this, a person with a perspective is going to go, no, this section in this area or this person needs to do that. That's not for everybody, right? So Aquarius, a sign of the friendship, a sign of the rebel. She likes a rebel. She's going to like somebody who's a bit of a, that rebel vibe. When she is flirting, she might flirt with extra care, right? She got some care going on. She has Ceres here, and Ceres is the Earth Mother, which means that she will like to nurture in some earthy way, right? Oh, I'm just reminded of a lyric that she has where she says something like, I don't need, basically she's saying, I don't need your money. I can buy my own. I have my own thing. I do my own thing, right? She's like, I don't need yours. I have mine. That's a good indicator of that Ceres there. So Ceres wants to nurture, and the way to nurture in an Aquarius vibe is to be like, I don't need anything. I have my own perspective, but what I do need is for you to be authentically you, right? That is what she is heavily attracted to. So a way that she expresses herself, or that she must express herself, is in those Aquarian ways. It's funny because she has an opposition here, that sun. So she is going to be on a stage, but the way to her real heart is a bit of a rebel, right? If she's being a rebel, if she's going against the grain, that's where her fortune is too, right? That's where she's going to, and that's where her uncorking is too. So the more authentic she can be to herself, the more she will uncork, Folis here, uncork herself and others, right? She'll naturally do that anyway, because that's just who this chart is. So we've got Pisces sixth house. This means her north node is in Pisces. So that Pisces is the sign of the musician, right? That means sixth house every day. She got to be doing music. Sixth house every day. She better have an animal around her. Do you got animals around you, J-Lo? Please have one. Please have a little support cutie around you at all times. She's got to head towards the philosophical. She's got to head towards spiritual, right? That's what she got to head towards, baby. So please head towards that, J-Lo. And she's attracted to higher education. She's attracted to higher learning. Venus in the ninth house, right? she's got Jupiter who, rules that ninth house, right? And who rules Pisces here, right? So she definitely got this authentic, philosophical, deep, deep bleed for me vibes here. Okay, something that I would buy for her. What would you buy for the woman who has everything? First of all, she don't need nothing, right? Aquarius, she wants you to be yourself. But maybe if you bought something for her that was like, ooh, like something that was like a shaman something, right? That would be like an interesting sort of taboo macabre thing, right? Oh, that'd be so cool. Or if you bought something for her body that was maybe like I was gonna say like a tattoo or something, right? Some kind of meaningful tattoo would be interesting, but then Libra wants things to be pretty, so they don't necessarily want tattoos or have paint on their physical body. I don't know if she even has any. But yeah, that Neptune moon. So Neptune wants to dissolve boundaries, right? Neptune has a glamour about it, right? Has a magnetism about it. So she values her magnetic body, right? Um, so something that would be taboo about it, right? I guess that could be like dark jewelry that has meaning, maybe. Like if you bought her something from an oddities store that had some sort of story behind it, maybe would be super interesting to her, right? Like she might love that. And it wouldn't have to be the most expensive thing in the world, right? Like she doesn't have to have the most expensive thing in the world. She likes quality old things though. So if it has age to it. So if there's a quality aged something that came from generations ago, um, that was dark in its manner somehow, right? Uh, or dark when you about getting it. Anyway, I don't know. Something like that would be something that I would get for her. Like if I was trying to surprise her with a gift, something that I think she would find valuable, right? Or a body experience would be interesting for her too. Ooh, like a mushrooms, like a shaman experience. Like we're gonna go do this shaman thing together. It makes me think of, oh shit. It makes me think of like peyote, not peyote though. Fuck, what's that thing that you do? Like, oh, we could go to Peru. Oh my God, we could take her to Peru. And is it Peru? Is that where it is? Oh, I know they're all over the place, but have like a shaman led out of body experience. Like that would be an experience for her that might be beautiful or might be kind of interesting or wonderful. Anyway, kind of fun. I'm spending so much time on JLo right now. She likes bold dicks here. We have a seventh house, Aries. I'm an Aries ego. So she likes very lively people. She likes people who are impulsive, ready to fucking go right now. She also has wounds here, which means that she will have wounds around when she was growing up. People might have told her, calm the fuck down, right? So it's where we have wounds and where we heal. So the more bold she is, the more she will heal her wounds, right? Again, we have this connection to this authenticity vibes and macabre going on here. And then we're also, since we're doing a synastry chart with her and Ben, we are going to look at this eighth house. Now, her eighth house is Taurus. This means she wants a reliable partner, but she has Saturn in Taurus. Now, Saturn doesn't have beef with being here exactly, other than it makes it hard to mesh with somebody else, right? When you have malefics here, a Mars or a Saturn, Mars is anti. I sort of make problematic too quick choices in blending with someone if there was a Mars here. Saturn is restricted. Saturn is mine and yours is yours. My nice things are my nice things. Your nice things are your nice things, right? There's a bit of boundaries. What the eighth house wants to do, though, the eighth house really wants to dive into it wants to die. It's Scorpio overlay, right? So old. So she might actually want, are the guys that she's with older than her? I wonder if she values older guys. What is Ben Affleck's chart? Is he older or younger? Oh, he's younger. Oh, well, whatever. But he's been around a long time, right? They've had on and off, right? And it's been a long, long time. So that Saturn needs to be proven, right? if you're going to be with me, you got to be with me forever through thick and thin. That Saturn here, if you want to mesh with me, you want to dissolve boundaries with me, you want to put our resources together to be one person, your ass better be committed. Saturn is about commitment, right? In Taurus, committed, you give me nice things. Commit to me with nice things. But again, my nice things are my nice things, your nice things are your nice things, right? She's got a bit of a barrier when it comes to really merging with someone until that Saturn gets maturity and time spent. The longer she's with a person, the more that Saturn is going to loosen its grip, right? Because Saturn just wants to make sure you protect it, baby. So she's got protections going on there when it comes to merging with someone else. All right, Ben Affleck, real quick. Let's look at this guy's chart. I could just talk all day about these. All right, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sun is in Leo. Okay, so both stagey people, both people loving to be on stage in some way. Again, we have a Mercury here. So he's a slower communicator than she is. So anytime somebody has a Mercury retrograde like Ben Affleck has, it means that in their mind, before it comes out of their mouth, it's like they have to rearrange it. It's kind of dyslexia in a way, right? It's kind of like, it's just not as quick. When Mercury is direct in a chart, that person can quickly communicate their body language, their mind, right? It comes right out. Mercury retrograde is constantly spinning inward. So in order for it to go outward, it has to be redirected in a way almost every time. So it will come across slower, right? Not as blah, 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 blah. So this person wants to be seen, has a value for being seen. Hello, I'm going to show off my body, right? In some way. We have a rising here with an AC rising of Cancer, 8 degrees Cancer, and right above it is Venus, right? Anytime you have like Venus conjunct an AC in a sign where Venus likes to be in, so in a that person is automatically attractive. You know what? Even if Venus is like, say, in detriment, like if it was a Scorpio Venus rising, or let's say it was a Venus Aries rising, this person, anytime Venus is in the first house, that person kind of has the benefit of being beautiful. There's a couple of things in a chart that make a person that or attractive, right? People are attracted to this person's body, this person's ego, this person's physical appearance. Now it's in the sign of Cancer. Now that's a tough on the outside, soft on the inside. And what is he definitely portrayed for? Being very tough, right? The people that he played, well, Batman is one that it makes me think of. He was one of the newer Batmans, right? They play a very tough person, but on the inside, they're like benevolent, right? There's a benevolence to them. So the way that I would the way to this person's heart here, one, cozy home, right? An AC in Cancer needs a cozy home. Venus really highly needs a cozy home sanctuary, right? It's a part of, so that means that he has to be comfortable in his own skin wherever he is, right? And he'll be tough on the outside so nobody can get to him, right? But yeah, something here is about nurturing, right? He automatically wants to nurture and be nurtured, and he attracts nurturing people, right? So that's what his rising makes me think of. Sun values. Okay, so the way to stroke his ego, get him a cozy blanket. Ooh, again, get him cookies. Cookies are always like a hot ticket item. You know what I would do with this person? I would maybe even get him like a business person. Nurses are often Cancer risings, right? Because they have to be quick to act in their careers usually. Oh, his is in, oh, how fun. His career is in Pisces vibes, which is music and art, right? In some way. I wonder if he sings now in some way. Does he sing? Do we know? Maybe not. I don't know. Now he's got a South Node here in Cancer. This means that in his lifetime, he has to move away from his ego. He has to move away from his attractiveness or relying on that attractiveness and head towards helping others in an altruistic manner. His North Node here is in Capricorn. That means that he has got to scale mountains for others. So doing things for others in a way that is altruistic or helps another to grow, to climb. Oh shit, I'm thinking of the movie that he was in, even as an actor, what he's played. Good Will Hunting, is that what he's in? And his best friend, he's helping his friend to realize that his best friend is gifted in math and stuff like that, right? That's him playing out in a way that North Node Cap, right? Anytime he's playing, oh, sacrificing for others, how fun. Batman, right? A guy who puts on a tough outer shell is soft on the inside and must help others to achieve major goals, right? So that's what he's supposed to do. Oh, Ben Affleck. He also has a moon in Scorpio here. Again, not a person who's going to cry in front of people. I'm just not, right? I'm not a hugger, right? This person, if they're flirting with you and this guy hugs you, he feels extra comfortable because that is not this person's kind of game. Again, now he has a Scorpio moon just like her. Also means that in his lifetime, he definitely has a hard time communicating his values to his mom, probably. I don't know if right? Because the moon represents mother. It means that also that when he was being baked in mom's womb, same with J-Lo, that their mothers felt like they had enemies on all sides. They felt like they were under attack, or if they were to share how they really felt about something, that they would be attacked. So when the babies were being baked, mom felt like she had to be on the defensive all the time. Like she had to be really careful about sharing her wants, needs, anything like that, right? Because she thought they might have been rejected. So definitely they both experience this while being baked, if you will, which means that when they're born, Scorpio moons can be transparent, but not vulnerable. Vulnerability and really how they really feel about things is a harder place to get into. This also means though that they should definitely, so Scorpio moons, it rules the genitals, right? I would also suggest playing these two for sure. Playing with sub-dom vibes because Scorpio, the body, if Taurus, Scorpio's opposite here, right? Taurus, the moon is exalted there and feels really, really good there. Taurus is sensuality. It's the five senses: see, taste, touch, feel, right? All that. Scorpio moon is in a deficit of that. So smells won't occur to them, right? Or I think JLo does have a fragrance line, which is really interesting. Oh, it is the way that she makes money. Fragrance, right? But they themselves have a harder time smelling things usually. It's not as sensitive as a nose. Taste, touch, feel, right? Those things, food, right, is things that they care maybe less about. Maybe Ben Affleck cares about food a little bit more, but like homey food he's used to, not necessarily high quality food exactly, right? Not like they don't really need like major restaurants kind of a vibe. They could kind of go anywhere as long as it's comfy, cozy. But yeah, that Scorpio moon there. So the way that he flirts is if he is bullshitting you or if he is razzing you, and for sure razzing you, right? He probably gives deep cuts because Mercury square, right? That is some friction with the way I talk, the way I say things, and the way I feel about things. So I did Albert Einstein's chart and he had a fifth house Scorpio. And so if this person is calling you a diabolical dickhead, right? If this person is razzing you, right? If this person is, I think I already said that. If this person is putting shame on you, right? If they are like digging deep on you, that's how they're flirting with you, right? They're flirting with you in a way that is maybe even sort of controlling. If they come across as like, they'll come across as a little bit like, whoa, you powerful, you a little bit like strong, right? You strong when you're like flirting with people. But yeah, if he is sharing his inner world with you and he is laughing and smiling, you are doing good by that dude. Oh, it brings him pleasure to do so. He's got a trine to Eros here in the ninth house. So he's got a bit of a philosophical vibe here himself, right? He gets turned on by Pisces vibes. He finds Pisces people irresistible. Oh shit. Affleck, I have a 9-degree Venus here. Damn, look at my chart, babe. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, J-Lo. All right. So he also will feel kind of isolated. He's got Black Moon Lilith here. This also makes for a highly sexual person, but a person who feels like they're an outcast. So if he's flirting with you like you're outcasting him in some way, then you're doing good with this guy. This guy likes that shit. All right, seventh house is Capricorn. This means that he likes go-getters. He likes people who want to achieve things. He wants to help people achieve things, right? People who scale mountains, right? This guy's attracted to that. Mountain climbers, right? That's what he into. Now we look at this eighth house here, and he doesn't have any personal planets, but you look at this, it is Aquarius. He cares. He only wants to mesh with people who are authentic, right? That rebel, right? So let's get into the synastry because let's just do that shit right now. All right. We have Jennifer Lopez in the middle. We have Ben Affleck on the outside here. The very first thing that I noticed, and I thought this was very interesting, is he has an 18-degree Saturn here, right? 18-degree Saturn, and it is conjunct right on top of her 19-degree Venus. Now, anytime you have, especially close, a Venus-Saturn conjunction, that is I don't know how to leave you, right? Saturn doesn't want to let go, right? And Venus is highly attractive. So this is we are friends together. Even if we aren't lovers forever, we will always be friends. There will always be some sort of connection. I have the same kind of conjunction with an ex-boyfriend of mine. And it's the same thing, right? Ours is in different houses. Ours is in Virgo, but still that same conjunction. It also means that Ben Affleck, the Saturn here, the more mature, if you will, in Gemini things, will view J-Lo as a little bit immature. Sorry, not sorry. In my relationship with my ex, I'm the Saturn and he's the Venus. And definitely while we were dating, I thought of him as a bit immature. Sorry, dude. But that was real. Like I really thought that. But we're still friends to this day. And they don't know how to leave each other, right? They keep coming back to it. That ex back in the day, we broke up, got back together, right? All the time, all the time. And so it's really funny to see this when I saw this in the chart. I was all, oh, shit, right? He's got his Venus is at 7 degrees and his AC at 8 degrees of Cancer are conjunct her vested devoted. She feels devoted to him in some way, right? She feels devoted to his soul in some manner, right? She holds a flame. Vesta is the sign. We have a symbol here. It's a V with a flame coming out of it. It's the hearth. It represents home. It represents what we feel fanatically devoted to in a way, right? So she is attracted to him. That attracts his soul. She feels devoted in some way to his to him, to his ego, if you will, which I think is very interesting. All right, so let's see what houses, what's falling into the houses. So her AC, again, at Libra with her Jupiter and Uranus, right? He has Uranus here. All right. His Uranus demands that her rising sign be authentic. He's going to shake her up. He's also going to be on again, off again. So Uranus in our charts is where we don't give a fuck about what other people think of us in this area, right? His is, let's see, fourth, fifth. Wait, no. His fifth house was here. Oh, that's right. His is kind of off. Let me look at his chart again. Where is his Libra? His Libra is in the fourth Oh, this means that when he was growing up, oh, dude, he had sorry, I'm looking at his fourth house now. This means that somewhere in his roots, family, home, foundations, they may have moved a lot when he was younger. Or there was something that was unconventional about his family, and maybe even extremely so unconventional about his family. And he has Juno here, which means that he felt betrayal. He experienced some kind of betrayal in relationships to his family, extreme ones. Anyway, so his fourth house, that's a private house. That's a private house for a person. So her AC, her rising, her life falls into his very private fourth house then. And so this is why you have the on again, off again here. And this is probably why also the way that she dresses maybe, or the way that she is, will sometimes trigger him. Also, though, he will recognize her as home in some way, right? That her physical body feels a little bit like home to him, right? When anybody else's major shit falls into our fourth house, we automatically want to protect them in some way, or we feel an automatic closeness. So when somebody's sun, moon, or rising falls into our fourth house, there's an automatic connection of home. There's an automatic connection of I want to protect you. There's an automatic connection of also hurt, can be hurt, right? Easily. So he can be hurt easily by her ego in some way. Jupiter, she's going to bring him some kind of pleasantness, the wealth. She's definitely going to bring him wealth into his fourth house of roots. So she probably helps him in some way to understand children. She doesn't have any children, does she? Anyway, Jupiter can also represent children. But I wasn't looking at the aspects to see about children, because if Jupiter is making some kind of negative or problematic aspect, then no. Oh, so she has a Jupiter square Juno in her fourth house, which means that in some way she feels like she would be betraying her body if she had children. Anyway, it would prevent her from climbing. All right. That was just like a short little mini thought there. All right. So let's look at, okay, so Scorpio, his moon falls into her second house. This means that, and it's on her vertex. Vertex can be a fated meeting, and 4 to 7, that's only 3 degrees apart. That means that something about his body and his inner world feels karmic or feels fated in some way, right? Oh, that's super fun. And then his vertex here, that's her anti-vertex, her second other. His vertex, which is just the other side of that fated romantic partner, is on her Neptune. That is strong charisma. He definitely feels a very strong, otherworldly, fated connection to her, right? There's something that feels meant to be, right? In some way to them both. We have a Neptune Mars here. This is magnetized to her sexy self and how she pursues sex. It also means, though, that sometimes she wants him to be more direct and he can't be more direct because he's Neptune about it. Neptune is like, I don't know, it's somewhere around here. And Mars is like, be direct. So I bet that can be a frustration sometimes for them, if she wants him to be more direct about what he wants. And he's like, I don't know, right? Like, I bet that's sort of a frustration there a little bit. But she values his inner world. She values his depth. They should definitely do some kind of peyote together or something. Please do that. Tell me how it is if you do. All right. Fourth house is important when you're rooting people together. Her IC is with his DC. That means his other and the way that he views others, right? And his North Node, another karmic thing. So she keeps getting pulled back in by his dick, Priapus there. No joke. She liked that. He liked that too. North Node feels karmic when it's in a fourth person's house. There's, again, a meant to be in your home. So he feels like I'm meant to be in your space, in your home. Jennifer Lopez, darling. Fifth house, flirtation, it's his eighth house. I do remember that. So this is high sex vibes here. So fifth house is also sex for fun, sex for pleasure. And then eighth house is deep intimacy, right? Now, both require detachment, right? Aquarius is also very detached in the way that they flirt or do sex for fun or things like that. So they need autonomy. They need some kind of independence. They definitely need friendship horde if they're going to be together, right? That's the best. So yeah, flirt like a friend. But then so her funness is flirting like a friend, right? And doing, no, I'm not gonna do that, right? And then his eighth house of intimacy, he could possibly get triggered sometimes, or she could get triggered that he doesn't want to commit, right? Because not that Saturn there doesn't. Saturn, I mean, yeah, that's good. It's not that he doesn't want to commit. It is a Saturn ruled sign. There is a desire to be committed, but they want to be committed in a way that has perspective. Can you see where I would think that or feel that, right? Can you have perspective? That will do worlds of bringing them closer together. If she can realize that he flirts like an asshole, she values, right? His fifth house, she values the way he flirts, right? And if he can bake in some sort of like friendship contract, if you will, right? Commitment via friendship, via authenticity, via the rebel, right? That will go like a super long way. Her fortune, she's definitely going to be a resource of fortune for him, for sure. So that's like super good. Okay. So in Synastry chart, one of the things that you can do, and I'm trying not to go like forever, right? Mercury on Mercury action, Leo on Leo action, they want to be seen together, for sure. That's good. They like to be in the public eye. That's part of what this means. They don't want to share their inner world with everybody in the whole world, but they will be seen together. I can't leave you, right? That's a big, big thing here. I wanted to look at. All right, so Mercury, let's see what other mercurial things. Let's see. Mercury is how people communicate. So I'm looking to see. So he has his own thing here. Okay. Okay. So her third, yeah, she's on the inside. So her Mercury 3 degrees Leo is in a direct square to his moon in Scorpio. That means that there is friction or tension. He feels a little bit blocked when communicating his inner world to her or his emotions to her. But her moon in Scorpio will kind of understand that and can kind of understand where he's coming from with that. So this also causes sexual tension too. Mercury square moon, right? It can cause beautiful sexual tension, but where sexual tension is it's fighting or fucking. So if you can use that tension, again, BDSM or some sort of sub-dom play could go a long way to helping them to express themselves, right? Punishing you for not doing what I wanted. I couldn't control you. Or I want to control you. Tell me how I can control you, right? So if you can kind of engage in that, that could make it juicy. That could add in that otherwise friction, otherwise fighty, right? How do we mitigate feeling blocked is making it sexual in some way with that and sexual intensity. You can do that, right? It is vulnerable though. So a lot of trust is involved here. So go to a peyote thing first and then experiment with sub-dom play, please. All right. Saturn, we look at, so that was like the only thing that I saw there. Mars is fuck or fight. Okay, that's to her own thing. We already talked about here. Sometimes she wants them to be more direct. I always look for the problems so that I can mitigate them. It's kind of always what I'm like looking for. Let's see. Oh, okay, okay. They do have a Mars square Mars. Again, another great for sexual tension. Problematic for long-term. You have to fight together. Is there a way that you can punch each other in a playful way? Is there a way that you can use that Mars square Mars so they block each other's actions, right? I want to do this, but I want to do this. There's a block there with the actions that they want to take, with also the way that they will pursue sex, right? There's a bit of a block there. Good news, the sun is here. They both have the sun in a fire sign, which will help translate over, so not the worst. But Mars on Mars is like, you fucking frustrate me. You frustrate me, right? Like that is mad frustration. What she would need to know about his is that his Mars in Virgo here is the sign of the Virgin. So he's gonna think, and overthink some more about taking action. And she's gonna be a little more like, fire, I feel inspired, let's do it, let's go. And he's gonna be like, whoa, no, right? So the way to mitigate this is one, if they're fighting with the public, so Mars in the 11th house going through the Mars the third house, right? Like something about fighting, keeping the fights where other people have beef with you, right? Out in the outer world. Or like when I see this, I think of like being in the car together, traveling in a distance and then fighting. Like that's what it looks like. Like they both want to do different things. So if they can haggle each other about it, use that moon in Scorpio in a way, right? To be like, well, fuck you. Well, fuck you, right? Use that Aquarius nature to be like turned on by each other's rebel. Like if you can do that or be equal about it, right? That would be interesting, right? Or feel like you have equality somewhere in there. But this is fucking or fighting right here, yos. So if you want to make this long term, you have to learn how to fight together. And so if you can take like boxing classes together and you like box each other, right? Maybe like you take it out in the ring, right? Like something like that would be really beneficial to help relieve the tension between those two things, if you will. All right. Saturn falls into, well, I think that's good. I'm just trying to like think of things. These are things that like point out to me, you know, when I'm looking. So that's how to read a synastry chart, right? You can do a composite chart, and this is technically how the relationship should go itself. So they meet each other, they get along immediately, right? Did they meet acting together or being on a stage together? I don't actually know. Probably, you know, I would think so, right? Leo on a stage. And it felt fated. Anti-vertex is here. South node is here. This is like past life thing. They could possibly have a past life togetherness in some way here. We have an AC Leo. So we have Mercury in the composite chart, the relationship itself. We have Mercury, Sun together in Leo, anti-vertex fated, South node, past life, and then AC. So AC is usually how you met. So met doing Leo things, right? On a stage, being seen together in some way. Something stagey. Second house is power issues. So the first year they met, they're like, oh shit, right? Second year they met, they started noticing that they felt isolated, maybe. We have a Black Moon Lilith. This could also be hot sex. This could be extremely powerful sexual connection, right? But then Pluto also represents power struggles. So power struggles are a thing there, right? The third year we're meeting here, we've got Uranus and Mars together. Mars is in Libra in their composite chart. Mars wants to make decisions with other people. So together, they have a hard time making decisions. Mars in Libra wants to make decisions with partners, right? In a natal chart, people who have that, they want to be on the same page with their partner to make decisions. They don't like saying yes to something that they think their partner won't say yes to. And then Mars also divides, right? It's the knife in a chart. It's where it can divide. So they would have experienced flip-flopping and being cut apart in their relationship, right? So the way to mitigate this is to have, especially when they traveled, wisdom. They have Palace, they have wisdom here. So having wise strategies. So definitely seeing an astrologer to help them mitigate this stuff would be awesome for them, but they need to embrace unconventional thinking, right? Independence, right? Uranus is where we need to be independent. Maybe they need to be independent, give each other a lot of space and independence when it comes to fighting, right? When it comes to pursuing things that they want, they need to give each other independence in pursuing what they want to pursue, hands down, right? And maybe even, have somebody else to help them make decisions, right? A counselor. This would be excellent for a counselor. If you want to be together for a long time with this person, a wise strategy would be have a counselor to help you to operate that Libra house. Partner with someone else so that your mindset can be helped. That's what I would say to y'all. But yeah, had that. In the fourth house, we have Jupiter and Moon. That means they talk a lot together when they're at home. A lot of words together at home. It could also be Marsy, right? Fighting in partnership at home too. But they want to keep that a secret. But Jupiter's wealth at home, that's a lot of wealth. And maybe that wealth comes through taboo things, macabre things, unsavory things. I don't know. We have Neptune there, so magnetic. That's a lot of action in that fourth house of Scorpio there. They want to keep that a secret, that's for sure. Fifth house, we have Capricorn. Again, we have that scrolling. His seventh house falls into here, and then her Capricorn, fourth house. Okay. So sixth house of day-to-day, her fourth house is in here, and his seventh house is here. That's good. That's partnerships and at home and every day. So that's really good. That's nice and stabilizing. If they do altruistic things together, like helping other people, that would be really beneficial for them. Partnering with friends, right? So maybe they became friends again later on, right? It's like the first year, second year, third year, and then we have like 12, then we have 13, 14, 15. It just keeps going around the circle. So that looks like a lot of nothing then. Aquarius, friendships again, feels fated, super fated, vertex, north node here with other in the seventh house of other committed partnerships, right? There's something that feels fated to them about this, for sure. His eighth house falls into her here. Her fifth house falls into here. That's really good. That's some good shit. Pisces here in their eighth house, they really want to meld together. If they can get that Scorpio down, if they can be vulnerable as fuck with each other, and maybe having other counselors, other people in their lives to help them get there, damn, that'd be good. Doing music together would be awesome, right? Animals together, doing spiritual things together will really help to bond them. We have Priapus here, right? So doing something deeply penetrative, right? Deep penetration, please. You would both love that. You would both love that. You both fucking know you would. You both have Moon and Scorpio. You both want to penetrate deeply and be penetrated deeply. I'm telling you. If you can do tantra, that'd be awesome for y'all. All right. Ninth house. Oh, they both have wounds and being impulsive about spiritual things. So spiritual things are hard for y'all a little bit, but it's also the way that you heal. So if you could do something bold, something paving the way when it comes to spiritual things, that would feel really good. Maybe they will do that, right? Higher education, higher learning, do something bold together. 10th house of their careers together is Taurus, which is long lasting. We have Saturn here. That's pretty good. That's like owning a bunch of stuff, owning homes or whatever together, right? Nice homes together. But yeah, this has got some like kind of staying power, turns them on to be together. This is very fixed though, and it doesn't like to change. So this doesn't like to change. So I don't know, this is like committed to being in public in some way. Saturn, it is opposing that like fourth house. So they have to choose sometimes between being responsible in their careers and in between being vulnerable at home, right? Or taking care of that home. Sometimes it can feel like that. It can feel like they're not nurturing each other if they choose Saturn over, right? Like that can feel like that. 11th house, be a part of a book club, y'all. Venus, Vesta. Nessa's here. That's like devoted to abuse. Please don't be devoted to abuse. Verbal abuse. If you can embrace that, if you can turn that into Scorpio vibes, right? If you can turn sort of like abusive language into something that's like that play, that power play, right? If you can mitigate that, that would be dope as fuck. Use books, use YouTube videos, use online stuff, right? Like you will be seen online as romantic partners, right? Oh my God, that's like that Bennifer thing, right? I know that was like a thing a long time ago. How fun. And then the 12th house. So the 12th house is Cancer, which is his rising sign. So he will be less seen, I guess, in a way, right? Like his physical body will be less seen in their relationship. So to be like more her being seen maybe than him. Uh, anyway, and then it starts over again, right? And then we'll have a rough time. So 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know when they had breakups or anything like that. I can tell you that I'm not sure. I'm testing out because this can take a long time. It doesn't have to be a year, right? It could be even longer. I know that this is somewhat that's kind of new. Can you use perfection years? Look up perfection years in astrology in a composite chart. It's not settled yet, but I kind of wonder. It's experimentation. What year did they break up the first time? Can I Google that really quick? I just want to Google that. What year did Jennifer and Ben break up the first time? Maybe it'll have years. Because I want to say it was like on again, off again. Okay, so 2004. Bennifer was the it couple of the early 2000s, right? When did they get together? When did Jennifer and Ben start dating? Oh, never mind. So 2002. So 2002, Geely co-star Jennifer Lopez and began dating in 2002 and got engaged that year. Holy shit. So they got together really fast. Postponed their wedding in September and officially split in 2004. So there was like some stuff in 2003, 2004, on again, off again. So 2002. So they met and got married. So they fucking got together. So year one, we meet, 2002, get married, and then 2002, 2003, 2004. Oh my God, what was I just saying? That's when they experienced some issues there, that Mars knife and unexpected, right? Astrology's bullshit, you guys. Don't pay attention to it. All right. So my screen sharing now. Synastry charts, we do them. I know in the description box on YouTube and in your podcast, you can hit us up for Synastry charts. If you want a Synastry chart and you can't afford the whole kit and caboodle, whatever, just hit us up, email us. We want to do this for you. Do you have a chart that you would like for me to look at? I can keep you anonymous, but if you want me to look at your chart and another person's chart and I can use it for an episode, give me a holla. You can be kept anonymous. And that's what I've got for you. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I love seeing my face. I love seeing your face. Oh, I don't see your face. Whatever. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you go. Aries, moon and rising. All right. Bye.